Hi everybody. Welcome. So let's start with unboxing. Well, technically it's already unboxed a little bit, but that's because they packaged it so well. They even had a sticker here and I had a hard time opening it. So I went ahead and cut that. So let's look in here. So this set of brushes comes with a bag. Now I don't usually keep my brushes in a bag. And I'll talk about that a little bit later here. So if you do keep it in the bag and then you start pulling this down, you know, your brushes, the hairs will get caught on the brush and it'll bend back, you know, and it's just, I don't recommend it. But it's nice. As far as a gift, this is cool. I really like the packaging as far as the gift, you know, if you're giving it as a gift. Now, I know it's really close to Christmas already, so maybe for a birthday gift or going away present, or you're visiting and you give them a gift because you showed up. So I wanted to also show you, when you get a new brush, these were all packaged in individual plastic wraps. That's why I wanted to skip that part. So now, when you get a new brush, you want to remove this and throw it away. It's only kept here for shipping and stuff, so take that off. And also, when you get new brushes, they'll put it's like a glue on the bristles. It's probably gum arabic, I don't know, which is the binder for watercolor. I'm not sure. I'm not saying it is, but it feels like that, like it's a glue that you just put in water and wash off. And that's also for packaging and to keep the hairs protected. So you're gonna get brushes that are protected that way. And all you do is soak it in water, or, you know, get it wet and start kind of rubbing it and to get the glue off. So I wanted to show you that, but throw these away. You don't need to keep putting them back in the cap. That might damage the hairs if you accidentally bend one back, right? So yeah, so get rid of those. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend putting them back in the bag, because when you get them out, the hairs could get caught in there and whatever. The actual case that I recommend is something like this. And it doesn't have to be this, but something like this, where the brushes are held still and they're not touching anything around, you know, they're not bouncing around and getting twisted, or if you know, bent back. If you set it aside, it's kind of secure. I mean, you know, as best as you can. And and I always have them laying down too. Just because I don't want the water, I don't want them stored like this, where the water would go into the ferrule and into the actual handle. These are probably all plastic, so it's not a big deal per se, but there is glue still that you need to not worry, but that, you know, you might want to consider not trying to get wet all the time. And that glue will, you know, it might not last as long. So you just take care of your brushes and they'll last you for life. So I just wanted to mention that. But as far as a gift goes, the packaging is cool. I like it. So I wanted to also, well, I guess we could talk about what they are. They're supposed to be synthetic squirrel. It's still too big. I'm gonna compare this one. It's a size 3. It is a little bit smaller than the rest of these guys, but it's the closest one, because the 6 is it's a bit big. Did I mean, I don't know. It's pretty close. So I'll just set this aside for a minute. Now that we're done playing around with that, we'll compare the tips in a little bit, or the points, I should say. All right, so let's see. I wanted to touch on the packaging. It has great gift giving packaging and the bag's kind of cool too. Affordability, yes. Let's go look at the monitor. I wanted to show you, oh, that's why. So they're just $25 right now, and you get all of that. I think it's 10, yeah, 10 professional, and let's go through like which ones they are actually. So you have, now the other thing too I wanted to mention, the sizing, right? The size of rounds. They're not, okay, so the sizing, they don't match any other brand. Every brand has their own size. So what they try to do instead is list the, oh, they don't even, this doesn't have, this is the inches as far as the length goes of the whole brush. But on more expensive brushes, they'll give you the size. Let's go to the overhead real quick. They'll give you the size of the ferrule, and that'll tell you how thick the brushes are, or the bristles, right? So they'll always, not always, but I mean, I think always actually, for more higher end brushes. This is a DaVinci Maestro Series 35. By the way, if I haven't said, welcome to Watercolor Wizardry. If you're new here, my name is Zara. Thank you for coming over and visiting and all that. Hopefully you subscribe. And to all my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. It's really cool. I've been having a lot of fun doing videos, and I'm getting better at it. So yeah, so more expensive brushes, they'll tell you the ferrule size, and that'll give you an idea. And by ferrule, I mean right here. And they'll give you the size of this, the round part here. And that'll give you an idea of how thick. And they'll also give you like the length, the whole length of the bristles, the hairs, and everything. So it's kind of cool. And if we compare these, I was going to compare them later, but we can do it now. So you'll see that the length of the hairs are all different. If I could line them up perfect, that would be cool. So you can see the Maestro is super, super long. It has a bigger belly, but it is more expensive, right? That's the trade-off. Huh. Let me wet this down too, because this has glue on it. So yeah, those are things to think about when you're getting new brushes. But you know, when you're just starting, inexpensive brushes, just, you know, play around with those. You'll be able to create nice paintings with inexpensive brushes. In fact, I'll show you if you, I mean, I don't know. So this painting right here is one I've been working on. I've been planning on trying to finish it, but I wanted, since I started it as a live stream, I wanted to finish it as a live stream also. And I've been working, I just been busy with a bunch of different things, because I'm also starting a beta course, or a beta group for the course, watercolor course that takes you from beginner watercolor foundations up to hyper realistic style like this, right? And yeah, I'm gonna have a beta. It's called a beta because it's the first run through. It's the first group of people to go through the course, and we're gonna go through it together, and it's gonna be great. And I'm excited about it, but there's a lot to be done. I mean, you know, not really. We could start it, just start it. But I kind of wanted to do a few things. So yes, if you're interested in that, actually sign up for sign up for anything on my website, watercolorwizardry.com, and I want to send like a discount for anybody that's on my list. In list to, if you're interested in learning watercolor through me, of course, you don't have to, you know, just the only reason you'd get on the list is to like learn from me. So yeah, so sign up on the website for anything, because I'm going to send it to everybody, because it's the first time we're going to go through a course. So that'll be cool. And I'm excited about it too. But that's what I've been busy doing. But I will finish this. Okay, so what I wanted to say was that this one I did with the Princeton brushes, these. And the hairs on these are not meant to be like Squirrel. They're stiffer. But I'm able to manage, you know, a painting like this. And that comes with some experience or whatever. But my point is that you can accomplish, I don't want to say anything, but you can accomplish a lot just by doing it. You know, learning how the supplies work, learning how your brushes work, you're able to accomplish things. So it just takes doing. That's, I think, the hang up for a lot of people, is they're afraid to start. But totally, that's why I wanted to start a course, and I wanted to start a cohort, a group of people, you know, to walk them through how to paint and enjoy it and not get so overwhelmed by it. Because I was overwhelmed when I started, and I actually wanted to quit. And then I found some paintings that were hyper realistic that just like I had to learn how to do it because it was so beautiful. So anyway, let's get back to business over here. So the Artegria are soft squirrel brush. So they should be softer than the Princeton. But you know, honestly, they feel stiff to me. But just as stiff as any other brush. Although the Neptune feels softer, actually. But regardless, you'll be able to paint. I mean, obviously, I painted with this one, which is meant to be stiff. So you'll learn on any tool. You'll learn if you want to. So don't ever let that hold you back. Always at least try. Well, you know, I was ready. I quit. So, and if you want to know what I recommend, obviously, I recommend the DaVinci Maestro. Once you get a better handle, actually, on brushes and how to use them. For now, as a beginner, when you're just starting, I actually recommend these three more than the last two here. So the first one, well, these wouldn't be bad either. So any of the first three here. So that would be the Artegria, the Mimic, and then the Neptune. The Artegria is the lowest price because it's what, $25? $25 for all of these brushes. And then the Mimic, you only get like four. Yeah, you get 4 brushes, maybe 5. 5 different brushes for $20. And then the Neptune are $41 right now. So kind of spendy. But I like how the Artegria, you get different brush shapes. Go here. You know, you get to play with different brush shapes as a beginner, and you get to explore a bit more for close to the same price as the Mimic set, right? And they're gonna work as well as the Mimic and the Neptune. They're very similar, right? So that's why I think this is a good one. And I actually got this recommendation through the Frugal Crafter. So I already know that they're gonna be good. I trust her judgment. That's why I bought them. Because I wanted, in case you bought them and then you join the course, I wanted to be there and use them so that I know what you're talking about, you know, if you ask any questions. So I wanted to show you again the comparison between all of them. I could probably... And I do apologize if I'm taking too long explaining everything, but. So the bottom one, the black bottom here, is the Artegria. The second one is Mimic. The third or middle is Neptune, Da Vinci, Neptune, yes. And then the Princeton is the blue handle. And then the Da Vinci Maestro, and that's specifically Series 35 is the top one, which is my favorite brush, but it does take a little bit of learning the brush, because this is a natural hair brush and it'll hold more water. So you're gonna want to learn water control with this one. And that's what I teach in the course, because there's 5 different levels of water control. Depending on the teacher, sometimes they only teach 4. It doesn't really matter. Just knowing how wet your brush is, how wet your paper is, and how wet, on the palette, your paint to water ratio on the palette as far as the color and the hue goes, all that. So it sounds complicated, but it's not. It's not. It becomes intuitive after a while. All right, so what else did I want to talk about? Let's see. I wanted to talk about their synthetic squirrel bristles, but synthetic, so not as soft as real squirrel. Brush shapes, you get different brush shapes. You even get a cat's tongue. It's kind of cool. You get the cat's tongue brush right here. It's fun to play with. You get 2 flats, which is nice, because I swatch with this one and even a 1/4 inch. I have a silver brush, silver black velvet 1/4 inch brush. I'm pretty sure is what I use to swatch out my colors, for different paints. And then you get a dagger or a striper, but it's really a dagger. No, I don't know what it is. I have daggers that are way longer. So daggers come in different shapes too. And then rounds. So you get, let's see. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. So you get 0, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12 size rounds. Now, those are the sizes for the Artegria brand. And on top of that, if they have a travel set, most likely those sizes are going to be different also within the brand. I know it's really frustrating, but that's how it goes. You just kind of go with it. And that's why more expensive brands tell you the ferrule size, so you have a better idea of the brush size between the different brands. Construction, yeah, so the construction of this is cool. It feels like a plastic, so that means that you're not going to worry about the wood splitting, which is nice. Let's see. Wide assortment, protective cap and travel bag, which I wouldn't use actually. Beautiful packaging. Oh, for gifting. Yes, I agree. Great point forming. Yeah, it looks like it does. Oh, sorry. Let's go back here. Yeah, so it does have good, let's move this here. All right, so the points are really nice. What else do I want to talk about? User-friendly. They're beginner-friendly because they're inexpensive. So, if you mess up and the hairs bend, or you leave it in your water jug, like this in the water jug, and then the hairs won't go back straight. It's not an expensive brush per se, right? Like this brush right here, I'm pretty sure is about $35 just for the one brush, right? So it's good to practice, getting the good habits with an inexpensive brush when you're starting out as a beginner. So don't ever feel like, you can't accomplish excellent paintings or beautiful paintings with inexpensive brushes. That's not really how it works. You can learn how to use your brush no matter what the price. But with that said, the experience of learning to get to the natural brush and using it is lovely, 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 lovely. So I love my natural hair brushes. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yes, I did talk about storage tips, right? Where I don't really keep my brushes upright. I keep them laid down, and the case that I use keeps them laid down as much as possible. That's my storage tips. And removing those covers, it's because you don't want to use them necessarily. You don't need to. I think we covered everything. I know that was kind of chaotic and crazy, but you know, I'll get better, right? And I didn't want to unbox it without you guys, because that was the first thing that I got where I had a channel to share everything on, and I wanted to do an unboxing, and then it was like not working out, so it's a half unboxing. So, all right, I think that's good enough. Hopefully you stayed and understood what I was trying to say. But so the next video should show up like over here somewhere, or wherever, whenever things change, and YouTube allows you to change where things are. So, but usually I like putting it right here, the next video. So make sure to watch that, and you have a lovely Merry Christmas and the rest of the year. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye.